Most human beings go through life associating everything with the body-mind. That is the root of suffering. The body feels pain. The mind reacts. Then something else happens. A claim is made. I am in pain. I am suffering. I am broken. I have lost. My life is ruined. But before going any further, something must be made clear. What is this I that people keep speaking from? Most people have never stopped to look at that. They use the word I all day long, but they do not know what they mean by it. When they say I, they usually mean a mixture of things. The body, the face, the name, the past, their thoughts, their feelings, their role, their possessions, their relationships, their memories, their successes, their failures. All of that gets bundled together and called me. That is the ordinary sense of I. It is the personal I, the constructed I, the body-mind identity. It says, I am this body, I am this person, I am this history, I am what happened to me, I am what I own, I am what others think of me, I am my pain, I am my success, I am my loss. This is the I most people live from. But this I is unstable. Why? Because everything it is built on changes. The body changes, thoughts change, emotions change, circumstances change, relationships change, possessions come and go, status rises and falls, memory fades, roles begin and end. So if the I is built on changing things, then that I will always be in fear. It will always feel threatened. It will always be vulnerable to suffering. Now, let us go deeper. There is another way to look. The body can be seen. The mind can be noticed. Thoughts can be observed. Feelings can be felt. Memories can appear and disappear. Even the sense of being a person can be watched. So if all these can be noticed, who is the one aware of them? This is where true inquiry begins. Not the I that is thought, not the I that is memory, not the I that is personality, not the I that is name and form. Something is aware of all of that. That deeper reality is not the changing person. It is not the body. It is not the restless mind. It is not the story. For a beginner, this must be simple. The body is what is seen. The mind is what is noticed. The personal I is the claim that says, all of this is me. But the deeper who is that which is aware even of that claim. That is why the question matters. Who suffers? Not as philosophy, not as cleverness, but because unless this is seen clearly, suffering will always be misread. Now, let us continue. The body may feel pain. That is true. The mind may produce fear, resistance, sorrow, and memory. That also may be true. But must that mean you are suffering? This is where man becomes confused. He does not examine experience deeply enough. He simply takes whatever happens to the body, whatever passes through the mind, and immediately says, this is me. That is the mistake. Pain in the body is one thing. Suffering is another. Pain may come. The body may ache. The body may age. The body may become sick. The body may be injured. These things belong to the body. But suffering begins when there is identification. Suffering begins when the thought says, this is happening to me. This defines me. I am this pain. Then the mind builds a world around it. It builds a story. It builds fear. It builds memory. It builds resistance. And then man lives inside that story and calls it life. Ramana Maharshi kept turning people back to one question. Who am I? Why? Because unless that is examined, every passing condition will be taken to be the self. A pain comes and you say, I am in pain. A loss comes and you say, I am lost. A thought comes, and you say, I am disturbed. A fear comes, and you say, I am afraid. But which I is speaking? Is it the true self, or is it the body-mind identity claiming what it experiences? This must be looked at seriously. A person says, I am suffering because I lost my car. Look carefully. Is the suffering really in the loss of the car? Or is the suffering in what the car meant to the image of oneself? The car was never just a car. It became identity. It became appearance. It became worth. It became a statement. It became me. So when it was taken away, what really hurt? Metal, rubber, glass? No. What hurt was the image. What hurt was identification. What hurt was the false self built around possession. The same with money. A person may have wealth and feel powerful because of it. They feel seen because of it. They feel secure because of it. They feel important because of it. Then one day the wealth is gone. Now they say, I am nothing. I am suffering. But what was lost? Was the self lost, or was an image lost? This is what people do not understand. Things in this world are not the problem. Having a car is not the problem. Having money is not the problem. Having a home is not the problem. Having a title is not the problem. The problem begins when inwardly you become those things. Let me make that plain. A man owns a beautiful house. There is nothing wrong with that. But if inwardly he becomes the owner, the success, the status, the image, then his peace is tied to the house. Now the house is no longer shelter. It has become self-definition. So if the house is threatened, he is threatened. If the value drops, he drops. If others admire it, he rises. If others do not, he falls. Do you see the bondage? The suffering is not in the object. The suffering is in the attachment and identification with the object. The same thing happens with relationships. A person says, my wife left me. Another says, my husband betrayed me. Another says, my children no longer call me. Another says, I lost my friend. And yes, there may be real sadness there. There may be tears. There may be heaviness in the heart. No one is denying that movement. But again, one must look deeper. Is suffering only in the fact itself? Or does suffering grow because the mind says, how could this happen to me? I needed this person. They were mine. My life had meaning because of them. Without them, I am less. Now the pain of loss becomes enlarged through possession, memory, and identity. Love is one thing. Attachment is another. Care is one thing. Ownership is another. The moment another person becomes part of your identity, fear is born. And where fear is, suffering follows. Nisargadatta Maharaj pointed again and again to the false identification with what one is not. Man takes himself to be the body, the mind, the name, the history, the role, the possession, the success, the wound, the memory. Then naturally he suffers, because all these things are unstable. They change, they come and go, they rise and fall, they can be gained and taken away. What is bound to change cannot give lasting peace. Yet human beings keep building themselves out of changing things. They say, I am my body, I am my beauty, I am my strength, I am my youth, I am my bank account, I am my reputation, I am my relationship, I am my past, I am what others think of me. Then life, which changes everything, comes and breaks these images one by one, and the person cries out, why am I suffering? Because you tie your being to what does not last. This is why many people do not even know they are suffering. They think suffering only means crying, grief, heartbreak, sickness, or tragedy. But suffering is much deeper than that. A person can be smiling and still be suffering. A person can be wealthy and still be suffering. A person can be admired and still be suffering. A person can have a good job, nice clothes, a fine car, and a big house, and still be living in fear, comparison, restlessness, emptiness, and dependence. Why? Because as long as peace depends on conditions, suffering is already there. As long as self-worth depends on appearance, possession, approval, or success, suffering is already there. As long as one is seeking completion through the world, suffering is already there. Jiddu Krishnamurti spoke deeply about conditioning. Man is trained from childhood to become the body-mind. He is given a name and told, "This is you." He is shown a face and told, "This is you." He is taught to compare, compete, achieve, possess, and become. He is praised when he gains. He is ashamed when he loses. He is taught to seek importance in the eyes of others. He is taught to build an identity out of thought. So from the beginning, he is conditioned to live outwardly, conditioned to chase image, conditioned to fear loss, conditioned to measure himself through things, conditioned to protect a self-image that was never stable to begin with. Then, when suffering comes, he does not ask who suffers. He only asks, how do I fix my life? How do I get back what I lost? How do I protect my image? How do I avoid pain? How do I become somebody again? But perhaps the deeper question is not how to fix the image. Perhaps the deeper question is, was the image ever truly you? That is where real teaching begins. Let us go deeper still. There is pain, there is loss, there is grief. These may arise naturally. If a loved one dies, tears may come. If the body is injured, sensations may come. If something ends, sadness may come. But suffering is what happens when the mind takes hold of the event and turns it into identity and continuation. Grief may come like a wave. Suffering says, this should not have happened. My life is destroyed. I cannot be whole now. Loss may happen. Suffering says, without that thing, I am nothing. Pain may happen in the body. Suffering says, this pain is me. This is my entire reality. Do you see the added layer? That added layer is bondage. That added layer is the claim. That added layer is the false I, attaching itself to what appears and disappears. Without that claim, what remains? Look carefully. There may still be sensation. There may still be tears. There may still be silence. There may still be change moving through life. But is the deepest truth of you damaged? This is what must be discovered, not merely believed, not repeated, not borrowed from books, not accepted because Ramana said it, or Nisargadatta said it, or Krishnamurti said it. You must look. When pain comes, look. When loss comes, look. When fear comes, look. When the mind says, I am suffering, look. Who is this I? Is it the body? The body is seen. Is it the mind? Thoughts are seen. Is it memory? Memory comes and goes. Is it emotion? Emotion rises and falls. Is it identity? Identity changes with circumstance. Then, what is the who? The who is not a person to be found, not a new identity to be created, not a better version of the ego, not a spiritual mask. The who points toward that which is aware before the mind speaks, that which remains while thoughts come and go, that which is present whether the body is comfortable or uncomfortable, that which does not come and go with possession, praise, or loss. For the beginner, it can be said simply, the false I is the one made of thought and identification. The deeper reality is that which knows even this false I appears. So who suffers? Not the self, The body feels, the mind reacts, the false I claims, and from that claim, suffering is born. This is not a trick question, this is the doorway. If you do not ask it, you will remain a servant to every passing condition. Praise will lift you, blame will crush you, gain will excite you, loss will empty you, pleasure will bind you, pain will frighten you. And all the while you will call this unstable movement myself. But what if you are not that? What if suffering continues only because the false is constantly being claimed as the real? Then the work is clear. Not to decorate the false self, not to strengthen the mask, not to become a more spiritual person, not to collect teachings and repeat holy words. The work is to see clearly, see that the body is the body. The mind is the mind. Thought is thought. Emotion is emotion. Possession is possession. Loss is loss. But the self is not these. Again, this does not mean becoming cold. It does not mean denying human experience. It does not mean pretending the body does not hurt or that loss does not move through life. It means not confusing passing experience with what you are. That confusion is suffering. That confusion is bondage. That confusion is the whole tragedy of mankind. People spend their lives trying to improve the prison without questioning the prisoner. They try to secure the body, beautify the body, protect the image, strengthen the identity, acquire more, become more, be seen more, be admired more, and still they suffer. Why? Because the one who is trying to become is itself the illusion. So, what is freedom from suffering? Freedom from suffering is not making the world behave the way you want. It is not keeping every possession. It is not preventing every loss. It is not controlling every relationship. It is not making the body immortal. It is not guaranteeing comfort. Freedom from suffering begins when identification is seen through. When pain comes, let it belong where it belongs, to the body. When thought comes, let it belong where it belongs, to the mind. When loss comes, let it be seen for what it is, a movement in life, not the destruction of the self. Then inquiry becomes alive, not as philosophy, not as performance, but as a fire. Who is hurt? Who is afraid? Who is empty? Who is suffering? Stay there. Do not run too quickly to answers. Do not repeat words. Do not hide in teachings. Look directly. If all that can be lost is not you, if all that can change is not you, if all that can be observed is not you, then what are you? Ramana Maharshi pointed inward. Nisargadatta stripped away false identity. Krishnamurti challenged conditioning and illusion. All in their own way were pointing man away from confusion and toward direct seeing. And now the same question stands before you, not tomorrow, now. You say, I suffer. Who is this I? You say, I lost. What was truly lost? You say, I am in pain. Who is aware of the pain? You say, my life has fallen apart. What is it that knows even that thought? Stop, be still, and ask, not casually, but with your whole being, who suffers? And if you can remain there without running back to the story, without rushing back to the body-mind, without rebuilding the false self, then perhaps something sacred will be seen. That suffering was sustained by identification, that the body-mind was never the self, and that what you truly are has never been wounded by gain or loss, praise or blame, possession or absence. So again, pain may visit the body, loss may pass through life, grief may move like weather, but suffering endures only where false identity is protected. See this clearly, and what you are begins to stand free. If this message spoke to something deep within you, Do not let it remain only words. Sit with it. Look within. Ask yourself honestly, who is suffering? Who is the I that keeps claiming pain, loss, fear, and identity? Do not rush past that question. And if this teaching helped bring clarity, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who is seeking, and leave a comment with this question. What have I been calling me that is not truly me? And also reflect on this. Without the story, who am I? This is not about becoming something. It is about seeing clearly what you are not, so that what is real may stand on its own. Welcome to Beyond the I Am.